Good morning and welcome back to another episode of NexusCraft. Here with me, Blue Nexus Gaming. It is currently the 11th as of the date of this recording. We have before us a lovely view of the location in which we are going to be clearing out the various chunk areas that are required to prepare for this iron golem farm. Now, you can very easily see the progress which we have made. If you have watched the previous videos, you would know exactly where this chunk border is, exactly why we dug this trench out. Specifically, it is because we needed to mark out the chunk borders for us to properly excavate this entire section of property, because this is where we are building our iron golem farm. We expect to need to basically spawn-proof the area. The way that we are doing that is through just chopping down the entire area around where we want to build. This will cause us to very easily and very rapidly find ourselves with a lot of materials, as well as a very easily managed location. However, the materials that are present, we want to obviously save. We'll repurpose them, we'll move them elsewhere for now, but we will use them at some point in the future. I can think of a few different uses for a gigantic quantity of grass. Specifically, anything involving building in the nether or the end. If I want grass in either of those two dimensions, I have to bring that. I can't just expect to find it in those dimensions because they don't have it. It doesn't spawn in the nether, and it doesn't spawn in the end. Therefore, if I want it in those dimensions, I have to bring that block. And if I want a lot of it, well, I have to bring a lot of it. Okay. Take a little bit of damage. It's fine. Just make sure we pick up our loot from the dig. We don't want to lose anything. Okay, we're good. Now we just head over this way. We just want to hop on up here. We don't even really notice that we're leaping across that gap as we travel our way up this area here. We are excavating from the top, obviously, because we want to make sure that we are able to collect all of this, and honestly, trying to figure out how I'm going to jump from that hill on the left over to here is not really something I can actually do. That's not really a available option. As you can see, we're doing very well. Plenty of armor. We're making good progress excavating this terrain here. I shall collect all of this material while I'm down here. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Okay. Yeah, this tunnel is pretty deep here. Okay. We seem to have gathered a very large quantity of materials in a very short amount of time. Yeah, this was going to take a very long time to just pass back and forth over. As you can see, I'm just, completely mowing down all of this terrain. Efficiency 5, the whole 9 yards, it's just, it takes a while. Even just going full speed, it just takes a while. All of this terrain is marked for, repurposing and recycling, as it were, otherwise known as harvesting and, making use of. But, like, there's just so much of it. Sometimes you don't really understand the scale of a project until you're sitting there just going full speed through just a vast wall of material. Because you know you need to dig it all out anyways, and you might as well. You know, and it's like, okay, so I'll just go full speed. It'll be fine. You know. And then you do, and it still takes a really, really long time. You're just like, wow, I didn't think it would take that long. Oh, wow. I just realized that the shovel was about to break. Woof. That was close. Okay. Make sure we're all good on the food. Right, I have not yet moved down those tools. That barrel is full, therefore let's just start filling up this one. I believe we do have a location for specifically seeds. Yes, we do. We additionally have another shovel that we can merge into this one. That is our pickaxe. Ah. We have the shovel. What we don't have is the levels. We don't have access to a furnace out here, so levels are a little bit difficult to come by because we have not yet we've not yet acquired our full-on supply of materials yet. We've been busy excavating, and we didn't exactly think about experience. And therefore, we kind of are at a bit of an impasse on the current level. Yep, looks like everything is fine. Looks like I just need the levels. Okay. I shall run over to the kelp smoker, which I believe has been running this entire time. Getting an autosave, always good. Let's hold our Silk Touch pickaxe as well. Fully repaired, and we just got to see these harvest. Oh my. Beautiful. Now I want to go ahead, repair this shovel. Now I want to grab more kelp. Now I can just kind of let it do its thing. I will, however, actually then immediately grab all of this kelp to craft more fuel. The dried kelp blocks. Make sure that thing remains stocked. Now I want to go where do I want to go? I want to go over to here and check on something. Yep. Completely forgot what I wanted to check on, but it's good to know how everything is. How much bone meal do I have? 44. Not bad. I am curious as to how far along the smoking process has this progressed. Ah, right, because it harvested recently. It managed to get some more materials. Yeah, look at that. It's got a lot of materials there. Meanwhile, this one's barely sitting at 16. Yeah. Yeah. I have plenty more levels now. I have a fully repaired pickaxe. I have a fully repaired shovel. I have plenty of food. I have a rough idea of exactly which direction I'm actually wanting to run in. Yes, here it is. Now, I would like to point out that this tunnel here is specifically being excavated for the purpose of creating a space to set up a location where I am going to be able to properly utilize an iron golem farm without the iron golem farm getting connected to any of my other potential items from the base. I really need to sneak more while doing this. Ah. You bring llamas. Let's see what you have. Okay, you have lapis. That's decent. Packed ice. That's fine. Sea pickles, nautilus shell. You have pumpkins, which is really good, and glowstone, which is really good. I like you. Too bad I don't have any emeralds to spare. Otherwise, I would totally buy all of your stuff. Ironically, after I build my villager trading hall, I will have all of the emeralds I need. I just need to move the villager trading hall yet again, because I forgot that it is not 80 blocks away from everything on the surface. Therefore, I have to go through moving the villager trading hall and to an even further location, which means I might have to just go ahead and dig out to 500 and x equals 500 in order to properly provide the villagers a proper trading hall. I don't really have many other options on that one. It's kind of a take it or leave it situation. I just kind of gotta, go ahead and provide a better location. And the only way I'm gonna do that is through just moving the villager trading hall. But that's fine. That will be a later project. Currently, we are moving in the iron golem farm. However, first we need to prepare the area. Now, in my previous video, I believe I mentioned that I was going to be playing D&D, 5th edition, D&D 5e, D&D 5th edition, Dungeons and Dragons and all that. There's only so many ways to say that phrase. But I mentioned that I was going to be playing my Friday session where I host. I did play that Friday session. I then played another session today because the players are wrapping up from a combat encounter. They were facing off against the bandits. I went ahead and gave the Master Thief, the multiple Master Thieves, a note written in an Elvish script. Specifically, it's written in Undercommon. However, the only person present who speaks Undercommon would be Jackmist, the wizard. He's a deep gnome wizard, which means he is from the Underdark. He has very pale skin because of his heritage. They don't see the surface much in the Underdark. It is literally just a bunch of caves as far as anyone can find. Not as far as the eye can see, no, just as far as anyone can find. It is just caves everywhere. Nothing but caves, all caves. It's like, oh my, well, okay, I guess this is the Underdark. But, Jack Mist managed to escape from the caves because he ended up getting teleported out through an unknown process to him that he was not conscious for. Jack Mist had managed to find in a haunted mansion the thing which was haunting the mansion. He was curious, looking through some ruins for a few books to read because he is quite the intellectual. He enjoys reading. He was rummaging around in the ruins of an old civilization when he encountered a spirit, and he was not believing it. He was like, oh, it's an illusion, it's fine. And the spirit was like, well, guess what? Roll a wisdom save. And he failed the wisdom save, so it just possessed him, and it teleported him away from where he basically grew up. By the time he regained consciousness, he was nowhere near anything he recognized, and he was extremely lost. He has not actually yet found his way back to the Underdark, but he has instead decided to take his time making a living, as he found himself amongst various arcane types. He found himself in the presence of a wizard. The wizard then proceeded to help him study to understand the core concepts of magic, and just generally understand what makes magic able to do what magic does. That is the core concept behind the archetype that is the subclass which Jack Mist has taken. Jack Mist is studying magic specifically for the sake of studying magic. I'm just understanding magic. That is literally what Jack Mist is doing as far as his subclass goes, as far as his archetype goes. He's simply studying magic for the sake of studying magic and understanding magic. If he didn't want to understand magic, he would not be doing what he does. But he is interested in understanding how magic functions, how magic operates, what makes magic able to do the things which magic does. Jack Mist is interested in these things, and therefore he is a lore mastery wizard. He studies the lore and the things that allows it to do what it does. Oops. I mean, eventually I'm clearing out this hill as well, so I don't mind so much that I accidentally cleared out a little bit of it. Same for that hill. Like, these rolling hills are great, but I really want to have clear line of sight because I want to be able to enjoy seeing the golem farm from my base. I was talking to one of my friends, and they were telling me about how they wanted to send me a better laptop. And I pointed out to them that, I didn't really have any money for shipping and handling or anything like that. And they said they would handle that, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because they want me to have a better computer. Like, they've been playing alongside me for a while, and they just they just wanted me to have a better computer, because my current computer is so old that it is constantly slow and unresponsive at times, which can be difficult when trying to maintain immersion, because you have to basically sit there and just entirely ad-lib pretty much everything while waiting for something to load, which I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. Because sometimes it can be like during a conversation, and you're sitting there being like, well, I believe that the last time I heard about the location of the big bad evil guy's hideout is now, mind you, it was a little cloudy that day, but I'm pretty sure I might have seen it somewhere. Now, mind you, it was cloudy, but I might have seen it somewhere around. It's like, wow, you are just really, really pushing the limits of that ad-libbing. It's like, I know. I know I am. But, like, that's the type of stuff it takes, when you're going through that much lag. You kind of get good at figuring out how to just ad-lib, how to come up with some sort of response on the spot. A lot of people worry that might be a difficult task. A lot of people worry that being a GM, they might not be that well equipped to handle just the massive amounts of ad-lib that is required to be a decent GM. To be decently flexible with your players and be able to keep up with whatever shenanigans they get up to. If they do manage to get up to shenanigans, try to make sure that they don't get themselves too deeply entrenched in what they're doing, because if they don't pay too much attention, their character could very easily end up just dying. It's a very big possibility. Therefore, they have to make sure that as they continue to explore the possibilities of what they want to do, they are making sure that they have checked out everything that they wanted to do before they move on. They'll loot the bodies. They'll say, okay, well, I need some more arrows, and this guy has arrows, so I'm taking his arrows, because he's dead. He's not going to need them. It's like, okay, well, that's practical. That's a good idea. You know, that is a pragmatic view of the situation. You know, and I applaud them for that. You know, their characters are having logical, pragmatic views about, you know, what kind of what kind of things do they get out of this person trying to kill them. You know, they're sitting there going, okay, this guy tried to kill me. I'm gonna just I feel as though I earned everything this dude has, because this dude tried to kill me, so I'm gonna just take everything he has. It's like, wow, you know. But at the same time, it's practical, because as they continue to gather all of this material, they're quickly finding that they don't really need all of it. So they only begin taking what they need, what they're actually going to use. They don't just loot recklessly. They instead start selectively looting. They start going, well, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. But the rest of the stuff, it's fine. I'll just leave that. And it's like, well, if you're not going to take it, I'll take it. You know? And they start communicating that with each other. And they didn't even realize I had set that up. Like, they had no idea that I had planned that all along for them to just start naturally communicating and just be like, oh, well, I want that. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's all you. You know, and like, that would be in character for them, you know, because they're sitting there going, you know, basically, if you don't want that, I'll take it. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, you know. And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, they're working their way through the remains of the combat which they were in on the Friday session, which was they were guarding a caravan from bandits. What they didn't know is the bandits were easily dispatched. The bandits believed they were just getting people who wanted to raid caravans. What they were actually getting, however, was drow spies that had, well, technically they were drow assassins. And the drow assassins had recruited a few others to assist with the task, but their task was to kill Pinky, not Miki. Their task was to kill Pinky. Technically, they would have had the task to kill Miki as well, but Miki is already dead. Miki was the previous character for the player, which is currently playing Pinky. It's very confusing for me as well. Anyways, they were tasked with killing the Oozkin character because they were hired by the Bobes, which is the criminal contact for the local criminal syndicates. Basically, he is the guy to go to if you needed to find someone to talk to about what was going on in the criminal underground of the city. And because of that, he was obviously able to find a decently skilled assassin. He had, heard of a group of assassins before that were very good at their job, and he was like, I'll just use them. So he hired them, not knowing specifically what type of assassins he was hiring, and he ended up getting them to hire a few other people in order to help with the task at hand, which was to hunt down this ooze person that was apparently... Hi, baby zombie. This ooze type person, as I was saying, was being hunted down by the group known as the Bobs, and that is spelled B-O-D-B, I believe. Is a very difficult name to spell because it's not in English. I know, it's annoying, but it is what it is. Naming convention options are weird. Oh wow, we actually filled up that chest. Okay. Well, onwards to collect more stone, I guess. Oops. Okay. Now, hi spider, bye spider. Okay, now I need to use my subscribe pickaxe. And speaking of subscribe, another thing that would be equally as amazing is if you had already liked the video. That would be absolutely stellar, because each person who likes the video will increase the number of people which my videos get suggested to. Therefore, leaving a like on the video does help me and does help the channel quite immensely. There is this thing on YouTube called impressions, and the impressions are basically how many people my channel gets suggested to every day. I have somewhere between, I believe it was 500 to 2,000 impressions per day. However, the majority of the people do not seem to click on my content. I seem to only have about a 1% click rate on my content. However, in addition to that, I also only have 1% of my viewers are actually subscribed. Therefore, if you leave a like on the video, do consider subscribing, because it really does help my channel go a long, long way if I have people who are subscribed to my channel. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but every now and then you might get a video on your home feed, on your homepage, that tells you people who subscribe to this channel also tended to watch this. And that actually does go a long way in the YouTube algorithm. Therefore, if you leave a like, do consider subscribing, because it does really help a lot. I appreciate every person who has subscribed. Let me know how you think I'm doing. I am still working towards actually having the resources I will need in order to effectively fight in the end. Like, technically I have the I have all of the tools I need in order to fight the end dragon. Like, I have a full diamond suit, I have a diamond sword, I can get it all nice and fully enchanted. I can do that fine. But, I want to make sure that when I go to the end, I will not just be able to effectively fight the end dragon, but I additionally will want to actually go ahead and be prepared to go to an end city in order to collect an elytra so that I can actually effectively gather shulker shells. I want to be able to gather up these shulker shells because I want to be able to have a effective storage system for my base. I want to have shulker storage. I don't just want to, beat Minecraft and be like, ooh, I beat Minecraft, let's start a new season. No, I'm good on that. I want to have a really good base. I want to have a good storage system, complete with auto sorting, being able to drain an entire storage chest of items in a relatively short period of time. I want to be able to have a base that can sit there and sift through all of the items from a storage chest and just run it through our entire base's item filter storage and just completely organize any inventory that is placed upon it, or just any random items that are thrown into this specific storage chest that's hooked up to it, stuff like that. But I need to build the base up to that point first, is the problem. I don't just want to build a good thing. I want to build a really good thing. And that's kind of the situation that we find ourselves in currently. Is I'm just wanting to build a much better base than I currently actually have the materials for. But as more of the base comes online and gets built and gets completed, the effect becomes a rather surprising turn of events, which allows us to very easily continue upgrading our base until we are at the point where we get, a tunnel bore online complete with a TNT launcher, or perhaps we'll just end up just literally pulling every single block out of the wall and just bringing them all up and just, gathering all of the materials and just lining them up and feeding them to a person while they're AFK, which in this case would be me, and I wouldn't be AFK, I'd just literally be mining the entire section, but I would have all of the various ores and stones and everything. I would have that all brought up to me, and then I would watch it as it went down and retrieve the next batch. Or more specifically, if I ever ran out of materials to mine, I would just go down to see where it managed to miss the obsidian, because I would have it set up to where if it ended up stopped, it would just back up, like as in it would if it ever stopped, it would just basically wait for the blockage to clear, and then once the problem was no longer present, then the problem would, of course, no longer be a problem, and the excavation could continue. You know, I could continue to extract the resources, bring them up top, and I would be able to rapidly make sure that, as everything is brought together, there is a good a good collection method, which makes collection very easy, very straightforward, very simple. Okay. Oh, this is already in a corner. Okay. Well, in that case... Wait. I thought this was... Yeah, this is a slice. Okay. What am I saying? Yeah, this is a slice. Okay, so that's, this is just all getting removed. Okay. Ah, yes. That's what it is. Okay, so that's, oof. Basically, I have to go through all of this and just kind of remove the entire top layer section by section, because if I try to go faster, it doesn't work out too well, because this thing is so ungodly tall. As it is, I'm already technically trying to dig out 3 layers at a time, sometimes 4, because I don't really feel like taking forever to dig all of this out. But I'm going to need to go back to the bed soon because it's sunset, and on top of that, my shovel is nearly broken, which is kind of a bad thing. I should fix my shovel because I don't want that to break. I want to make sure that I have enough materials on hand to properly store all of the goodies I found. Okay. I need to deposit this. No. I need to deposit this. And then I need to deposit this other stuff as well. This stuff goes in here. We've got a section for gravel, coal, seeds, string, bone, leather, leads, rotten flesh. Okay, we have our replacement shovel in our inventory here. Mend up our shovel. 17 levels. Something tells me that we are not going to be able to repair this shovel one more time unless we return to base. Oh boy. Okay, well, I suppose it is time to... Oh, right. I need to pick up any loose items that had fallen down here. Yep, there were a few. Doesn't seem to be that many, but that's fine. Anyway, the players had managed to find themselves getting attacked by bandits. I mentioned that. The players had managed to fend off the bandits rather easily, actually. But in the process, the assassins, as well as the thieves that were hired, managed to get captured. It was quite unexpected that they would get captured, at least from their perspective. They expected the adventuring party to be well equipped, well armored, well armed as well, but they did not expect poisons. They were not expecting a toxic assault. They believed that they had the advantage on the poisons. I was supposed to be sneaking. Why was I not sneaking? That was painful. They believed they had the advantage on the poisons. They did not. They quickly found themselves on the losing end as they found the effects of the phase spider venom, which Dark Chaos